Hi everyone, this is Sabrina. Welcome to the S Factor Studio. Today, I'm just sharing a brief project. This is an old cookbook that I guess I'm going to quote unquote alter. I just want to spruce it up a bit. So let me tell you, this New York Times large type cookbook. The copyright of this book is 1968. This is the very first cookbook that I ever received, and my mom gave me this cookbook. This was her cookbook. I'm actually trying not to get emotional. So it's very dear to me, and I can't part with it. It's old. It's so old. I'm not even sure if oh, look. I wonder if this has a date on it. You can tell this is old. My mom would clip out different recipes and things like that. So this was my very first cook. Look at the scribbles on the back. I'm not even sure if that was me or someone else. But it's old. Look at the tape. I actually think I think my mom, this is the tape that has been on there, like from when my mom was still with us. So I am going to just continue. I'm going to take the rest of this apart, and I'm going to make it look a little bit nicer so that when it's on the bookshelf, it doesn't look so dilapidated. So I'm going to go ahead and use, this is, my words, Ciao Bella. And this is Cecilia. And so I'm going to use this one because it's it's bright and cheery, but it also looks kind of rustic. And if you look, this is actually, that's the cover of the paper pack. But I'm going to use this inside part, I think, as the back. What did I decide I was going to do? I don't know if I was going to use that one. This one. Okay, I'm going to use this as the inside cover. Okay. So as I'm doing this, I would like to, at least for me anyway, so I tend to, if I find a technique that works and I understand how it works and I'm able to use that technique for different projects, I tend to stick to the same technique over and over again. And I'm just going to take these two sheets and I'm going to adhere them together. So for me, I like to use that technique in as many different projects as possible. And I think I said for me a bunch of times already. However, for me, hold on, I need to concentrate. The same technique that goes into making binders and covering or altering books, the same technique that is used for making albums and even bags, that technique works, like I said, for all of those different projects. And so that's pretty much what I'm going with here. I need to keep it simple because I don't have the time to do too much. I just want to cover up this book so that it's not an eyesore. So I cut a piece of chipboard because, as you can see, there is no spine. The spine is gone. So I cut a piece of chipboard so that I can have have it there as a spine, and I need to adhere it here in the center of this paper. Let me see. I'm trying to think because I didn't want to. Oh, look, I wasn't going to completely take these covers off. I'm figuring it out as I go along. I can't believe how old it is. So I guess I am taking it apart. Yes. just gonna cut those little frillies off. And then in the back, let me see. All right, I'm gonna cut it off. I'm not even sure if I'm in camera, so I'm just slicing this this back piece off. And this is, you know, this is for me. This is my book, so I don't have to worry about being too precise. But I want to cover it well enough that you know, it doesn't, my cover and my papers don't just fall off. I guess that was the extra little pieces of the spine that were left there. Alright, so let me see, because then I'm going to have to adhere. Alright, let me see. Let's see what happens. Okay, I'm going to use my liquid glue. Okay, I'm going to put double-sided tape on. So I put double-sided tape over the covers. If you see right here, I ripped my paper, but that's okay. I dropped the tape on the paper. That's okay because it'll be covered. And then I'm always extra, so I'm gonna put glue in the little areas. I just always like to make sure. And I'm gonna leave that. Anytime the double-sided tape folds over onto itself, so I don't mind going over a bit, but especially with this, since I know I'm going to fold the paper around it, it actually works out better for me that it did go over, because I know that the edges of that paper will stick firmly. Wherever there's like a little gap, I just like to go ahead and put some extra glue. Okay. Now I'm leaving that space there, which is what, it's not quite it's not really an eighth. It's really a little, the tip of my finger is in between. I just want to make sure that you know, that I'll be able to open and close the cover without there being too much tension, so the paper won't crack. And I'm going to do the back side the same way. I might have given it too much space, but I'm okay with that. And I'm just using my bone folder to make sure that the double-sided tape and the glue that I put on there is completely secured and adhered. to the book cover and that piece of chipboard in the center. Sorry, I keep hitting the camera. All right, now I'm going to, actually before I even do that, I think I'm going to use my little corner cutter. Let me see, do I want to do that? All right, so I'm using my corner cutter. All right, I'm like in frame, sorry about that. This little, I think it's supposed to be for fabric, but it shows, it makes it easier to miter cut. Now, I'm not doing it because I don't want to use this blade on my table and I don't have a self-healing mat right in front of me. So I'm just making the, folding and making the impression, and then I'll cut it with my scissor. And I'm going to do that on all 4 sides. This little corner cutter, miter cutter, is not necessary, because you can just cut, and I normally just do it with my scissors. However, sometimes I get too close, sometimes I'm actually too far, so this just helps me gauge better where to cut, and if I have to cut a little bit more, then it's not an issue. Better for me to have to cut more than cutting too close. What was the back? That was the back. Here we go. All right, so now I can go ahead and fold my papers over. And I'm going to start with the top. Just get it ready before I put some double-sided tape on it. Okay, I put double-sided tape on all the edges of my cardstock. I keep saying paper, it's cardstock. And like I said, I like to do extra and use glue wherever there is no double-sided tape. Try to get wherever, if I missed, you know, any of the edges. Put that down and burnish to secure it. And I'm just going to do that on all 4 sides. Okay, so all of my sides are covered. I have a little tiny bit of extra there that is not a big deal, but it always annoys me. So I just kind of come in with my scissor and take that little tiny piece. It's not huge, like if you can see right there. It's just a tiny little piece that's sticking up from that extra, and I just like to cut that off. My other 2 sides were good. I got too many projects going on this table. All right, yes. It's there. I don't know if this is gonna overlap. It probably, yeah, it will. But that's okay, because to me it's just reinforcing that spine. All right, I'm gonna use double-sided tape and adhere these down. went with the writing just because it kind of makes me think of my mom. She had a beautiful, to me, cursive handwriting, and I write horribly. And so when I see little things like that, it puts me in mind of my mom. Okay, look how pretty. All right, I have to, let's see, where is it? I'm just trying to condition or prep the paper so that when I fold it, there isn't any cracking. Yeah. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. I'm going to use liquid glue and just try to get all in there. Just putting it all on this binding. Imagine if I put it upside down. Sabrina. Sabrina, Sabrina. All right. I just want to make sure that this is adhering and the glue is drying. I'm going to stand it up between probably two other books and maybe put something on top. I just want to make sure that that liquid glue in there adheres completely before I try to open the book. The spine of my book is dried and I use this bling here to cover up the seam. And I went ahead and put the book corners on all four corners of the book, and I did end up having to take out that other page that was there because it was ripping out anyway. So after everything adhered, it was still loose and I took that page out. But super pretty, much better than before. That's the back. And I'm gonna go ahead and put this little transfer on the front. Again, it's on the bookshelf, so I really don't want to put I don't want to put embellishments on it because it's sitting on a bookshelf, and if I do pull it out and put it back, I don't want to have an issue with the embellishments getting messed up. I'm going to take this transfer and I'm going to fuzz it to make sure. I did wax my paper lightly, so that this transfer will not get stuck to the paper. And all right. It's pretty.
It is.
Okay.
They're gonna wipe it, or you can like fold it and you can like wipe it, and then the rest will come
Actually, I
off.
left some lines. Yeah, I'm gonna hopefully pull it up nice and neat.
Please now. Yes, it's going. Yeah. Yeah.
Ta-da! How pretty is that? How pretty is that?
Oh my
Love it.
God.
Love it, love it.
That looks beautiful.
So, I'm going to let this dry. it's little things like that that really make me happy. This book means a lot to me. It's a very special book, and to be able to just redo it in a way that is so pretty, it truly makes my heart happy. Thank you for watching. I hope you are inspired to go and make your own awesome projects and share to encourage someone else. Have a wonderful day. God bless, and I'll talk with you again soon. Bye.